The door for me? One or the other? Hey? It's not connecting. Why is it not connecting, Robbie? Good. That's not good at all. Good morning, everybody. Did you hear all of that? We're going, it's not connecting. It's not collecting. I had a blank screen. But we're live now. How are you? My goodness, it's been a while. I hope you're all really well. Welcome to Chandler's Cottage. It is Sunday morning. And we're going to have a little bit of a play this morning with some cookie cutters. A little bit of American term there, isn't it? It's cookie cutters, but for us it's biscuits. But we're going to do cookie cutters. I don't know that we ever called them biscuit cutters. I'm not sure. But I've got those ready to go with a little demo for you. And also, there's a stack of stuff I want to go through with you about what's coming up, just verbally now, and then I'm going to put all of that in newsletter and post it on diary dates and on the website. But there is just so much to do. Anyway, I will apologise in advance this morning. I haven't been out on the town. Just been a little bit under the weather, and see the Ventolin puffers here. So if I cough and splutter, I do apologise. But I've got the coffee, I've got water in the fridge. Actually, I might get Rob to grab me. Can you grab me one now, just in case I can't get through? I haven't got COVID or anything. It's just all the beautiful native Melaleuca in flower at Merimbula while we were away, and it did messed with me. Who have I got here this morning? Who's here? Karen Morgan is here. Bernadette is here. Good morning, Bernie. Good morning, Susan. Hello. Rose, Lynn, Kathy, hi. Louise, we were just saying, oh, thanks, Rose. Bought from the fashion capital of the menswear shop, the Larry shop in Main Street in Druin. Here's the best girls' clothes ever. Good morning, Catherine. No Ginny this morning. I haven't picked her up from the cattery yet. Now, in my defence, she's not 10 minutes away. She prefers Treetops Cattery at Murraduct, which is where she first went and where she's always gone, except for one time, and she's never forgiven me for that. So I have to drive 45 minutes to pick her up, which is close to Mum and Dad. So we sort of do it all in one go. And I've got to go to the Sewing Bee Cafe and pick up a machine foot as well from Deb, because I'm sick of having one 97D foot between the house and the shed. I digress. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Yvonne, Rosemary, Donna. Oh, look at you all. Thank you for popping in. I know it's been ages. Hey, let's have a little bit of a show and tell first, and then we can move on. So for the early birds that are here early, I want to show you what you can do with modern technology. So you know how I was talking about we're doing kaleidoscope quilts with the border print from Yomu. That is happening real at the moment in my sewing room in the summer colorway. So in the oranges and reds and yellows and greens, that's all happening. And then at the same time, because we have, well, it's our artwork, so we have the artwork, Cass and I have been doing pretend digital blocks as well to see how they all come up. So she's copying the same sections of the border print that I'm using in the yellow, red, orange colorway to do it in the pink. And I just wanted to show you how they come up. Look at that. So it's, you know what kaleidoscopes are like? They become addictive because you just don't know what you're going to get. So we need 19 for the quilt that I'm designing. So we are auditioning them all. We're making 21, and then we'll find 2 that are quite similar. And I don't know, we'll use those for something else. Oh, I like this one that's got with the clematis flower in the middle, so you get all the blue. So these will all go into, 19 blocks are going into a quilt just called Yomu Kaleidoscope. And we're also working on a pentagonal one at the moment as well. I don't know, I shouldn't get the buzz out of these, but I feel like I didn't have to do much. I just told Cass which sections to use, and she made this happen, whereas you know, I've got the pins and the starch and everything happening with the real deal inside. Anyway, so there you go. That's what they're going to look like. And they will have diamonds in between in the ombre to go with them. So I just thought I'd give you a little look. The great thing about doing this is it means I can make the quilt for the front of the cover of the pattern, and we can put the digital version on the back just to show people what it will look like in the other colour. So then they can choose which colourway they want to run with. It also gives us the opportunity to see what a quilt's actually going to look like if we need to before we start cutting up a bunch of fabric to do it. Because you know a kaleidoscope, well, this one's pretty cool because you only need 25 centimetres per block with my border stripe. But when we're doing a lot of other ones, you might need to use 3.6 metres of fabric to get those 60 centimetre repeats. So doing it this way, we can be absolutely sure it's going to look okay before we cut into the fabric. So I just thought I would show you those, and it's addictive already, which is really good fun. Emma and I are also looking at a couple of remakes as well. Like we have Centre Stage also that we did with Under the Australian Sun and Melba. So we're looking at using that with the panel rather than the border stripe. So that's really interesting, to actually cut up a panel to do a stack and whack rather than an actual all over print. So a lot of fun to be had, but we're well and truly into it. There's also a new woven lattice cushion that I really hope you like. Really unusual. I don't think I'm reinventing the wheel. I haven't seen it done before, so that's a bit exciting too. But that's what we sat and did in Merimbula. Just sat, cut and paste, walk, fish and chips, walk. Is that it? That's about it. Fish? I don't know what that. Photos? I don't know what he's making.
Binge.
Some. Hey?
Binge.
Oh, we binge television. Oh, that's what that is. Yeah, but not as much as last time we went when someone forgot to sign out of their, was it Foxtel account?
Yeah.
Yeah, they left their Foxtel account on our apartment TV. That was really good fun. Anyway, I'll go to the end and work my way back now. Kathleen Williams, good morning. Hello, Chris. Marianne Stewart. Yes, I was in your hometown. Was it, Marianne, was it you that I left left a letter in your letterbox? It was? Yes. I left your orange, your advent. It was you, wasn't it? I think it was. Sorry. I'm sure it was Marianne. I'm sure we only had one in Merimbula. Anyway, I did drop off some fabric into someone's letterbox. Good morning, Fiona. Merry Christmas to you too. Is it really Christmas this week? Because I've done nothing. Nada. I'm starting today. Our prezies are organised, but house decoration, not so much as a ball. But we may actually not. I'm planning on gleaning inspiration from the garden this year. That means I don't have to unpack all the Christmas decorations at the last minute, only to pack them up again a couple of days later. Shirley, good morning. Judy, good morning. Frances, Liz, Sue. Oh, Pam Shrek, good morning to you. I've got to go find Sarah too. I need to contact her. Jane, good morning. Elizabeth. Debbie Nielsen, good morning to you. I'm spending the day. So we haven't got much time to stop for Christmas. Deb and I are working together all Tuesday on these kaleidoscope quilts, and then she's going to quilt them for me, and you all know she's an amazing quilter, so I'm a bit excited about that too. So life just goes on. And while I remember, there's a list. We are back here on Boxing Day morning. So this morning and late last night, if you've been looking through our fabrics that are on clearance already, and I know a lot of you have, I have some little towers. I'm going to call them towers of fabric that's been cut already. Pop the word clearance into the search window and you will find them. Rob's put up a stack more this morning of our 4.5 metre bolts, and we did it last night. You need to look. You please do, because the 4.5s will be coming down at midnight on Boxing Day. Probably need to go through and put that in the description on those as well. The wholesale will finish at midnight on New Year's Eve. So I'm going to run it right through till then, which is Wednesday night next week. that is when we are going to start posting out orders. So from that day on, I've got my junior team in, because Susie's away now for January, my junior team in Monday, Tuesday, before New Year's Eve. So I'm sounding really serious now, I've got the boss voice on. But that's when we are going to start packing them all, collating, getting them all ready to go out. So you've got till then. Now, if you wanted yours before then, you need to pop that in the comments before you go to the final checkout page in your shopping cart. There's a comment section, say please post now, and I will endeavour to get that out for you within 24 hours in between the public holidays. But otherwise, we're running right through. So you can order as many times as you like. And when we get to that day, on that 31st, or the day after, when I look at your order, I go, oh, she's got 9 orders in, and I'm going to go through and combine them into one big pack and then go through and refund all of the postage you have saved. So that's the way it works if you haven't done it before. So that's what I want to tell you now. Boxing Day, I would say I've nearly got up all the fabric by the metre. I'm looking down the aisle again. I've probably got some to go. What's going to happen with Boxing Day, we're going to be adding in a heap of other things. So there'll be a lot of multi-buys on sets of zippers and zip pulls and bag frames and fat quarter bundles and a whole heap of other things. Threads. So that's what we're going to be working on before we get to Boxing Day. So keep that in your head, because you were planning on making a little purses and bags and everything over the summer break when it's too hot to be outside. Get ready for that. Have a look at your threads. Go through your stash so that you're not buying something you've already got in your cupboard by mistake, but also have a look for where you've got gaps in different things. And that's what Boxing Day will be all about. So we'll do that at 8 o'clock on that day. Then we are not planning on reopening regular hours until Australia Day. I know, it's a long way off. But for us, that gives me about 32 days. 32 days to plan an entire year and finish a new fabric range and do a lot of work in the garden is nothing. There is 3 creative escapes to plan. There are 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 Jason events to plan between here and in Queensland, and all the projects I want to do with you during the year and what I want to do in a quilter's life. So 30 days is nothing. So that's the day we're planning on opening, and we are having a special day, so I'll also give you more info on that when I see you on Boxing Day. So that's the plan. Now, if you were planning to pick up your order, then we're not going to have regular hours for you to do that. So if you choose pick up, you're going to need to get in touch with me, and we can do just a pick up drop off for you, but the shop won't be open till then. We are ripping this place apart basically and putting it back together over the month to accommodate the textile pantry, the shop. Every surface is filled with new fabrics that have come in from Jason, that for all of our shop customers as well as you. So there's a lot to do. So Jan's, kind of get ready. I have to blow my nose just quickly, sorry. All right, so that's business end out. Meeting over. Let's have a look at what we've got. So under clearance, you're going to find loads and loads and loads of fabrics. And as I said, we've popped some more up this morning, notably last night as well late. I popped up a heap of shadow play. That classic scenario where I will look at the ones that we have double bolts of, and it's not that I'm clearing the whole fabric out, I just want to drop the stock down to 1 bolt of each, so we've got room on the shelves for it. So there's a stack of those, and as I said, there are more 4.5 metre ones up there. So we already had a stack up, and now we've put a heap more up, and they do include these ones, all the big mega waratahs. There are 2 Melbas as well, particularly the beautiful kaleidoscope one. So what I would suggest is that get your head around it, and if you don't want 4.5 for a quilt or quilt backing, phone a friend and see if they want to go halves with you. So there's border stripes up, the big waratahs, and as I've said, I'm missing some. Summer Palace fans. Oh, sorry, I'm not ignoring you, I'm just looking down the aisle. But there's a heap more there. So phone a friend, have a look at what you've got, and maybe there's a couple there that you can, good morning Fiona, maybe there's a couple that you can think, ooh, I might need that. Or you might have a great charity group you work with and you think, you know what, I could make up 3 or 4 of the free tote pattern off the Chandler's Cottage website. There's a few there, options for you. So anyway, have a look at those. It's very dangerous when my OCD kicks in at this time of year. I can feel it like a switch and I just want to clear the deck and start again. So it's very dangerous for everyone here, but it's great if you like to grab a bargain at Christmas, because I go a bit nuts. Just a little bit of an example of what we've got on sale. I can't believe I'm putting some of these on sale because I absolutely love them, but I don't like fabric sitting here for longer than 6 months. I have a use by date, and if it's here and it's not an ongoing collection, I just think, no, it's time someone gave it some love and I can give it a good home. So there's, and some of them I did carry it away and I did order double bolts, and so it's just time for the second one to go. I'll just give you a couple of examples. So there's these beautiful, remember these gorgeous things we got in from Robert Kaufman? It's just, so yummy. You can match it up with ombres, up with precious metals. They're just lovely signature prints for purses. I'm sure Megan would agree with me. We were talking about purses yesterday. Look at that. Just beautiful. So there's those. There's also beautiful ancient treasure prints from Robert Kaufman as well. There's a lovely scroll up here from Benedict's that I'm actually going to use this morning. So please have a look through all of those. As I said, there's more ancient treasures here. There, these beautiful things. I saw Errol grab some of these. These are Fleur from Timeless Treasures in the pretty little florals. Again, ordered double bolts, and I'm down to my second bolt, and they've been here for 6 months, so they're going. The hexagons down here, look, this is just a teeny weeny bit of everything you'll find on the website under the word clearance. There's masses there, and I will add more, as I said, over the next couple of days, and we'll have another look on Boxing Day at them. So please, please do. It was very serious, wasn't it? It's getting very pushy, Telly Sally. But I really, really need to make some room. And I just love the way that my American distributors say, hey, we've got all that fabric you ordered 9 months ago, ready to ship to Chandler's Cottage. I'm like, oh, not right now. I'm a bit busy. But it's coming, so we've got to get ready for the new year. What else do you need to worry about? Oh, look, if you are grabbing anything, don't forget the Chewy checkout rule. Make sure you've got all your needles and your pins and your glue stick refills and all those sorts of things. I haven't put all those under clearance, but if you are ordering, I mean, there's nothing more frustrating than it being 40 degrees and you're inside sewing and you realise you've run out of glue stick. I just can't comprehend the stress that would cause me. I mean, I've only got to walk out to the shed and buy it off my own shop. But if you're like, just make sure you've got everything. It might be weft, it might be steamer seam, it might be Pellin. Just make sure, because those things don't really add anything to the cost of your post when you're getting ready. Is that pushy enough for the morning? Shall we just have some fun now? Just have fun. All right. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago? Excuse me. We had a little play with those beautiful new motor prints in the gorgeous soft oranges and the taupe, and I was talking about doing a little drawstring bag and piecing the panels together and doing a stitchery. I'm actually doing it. I've just fallen in love with that whole beautiful soft English country look, so that will be a little project and a kit coming up. But aside of that, at the same time, I did mention to you that on the website there is a free pattern for a festive basket, which is the same as a drawstring. However, you haven't got the sleeve and the cord at the top. And we did do that in the demo. So if you want to have a look back through, you could add it. But I just wanted to mention to you that these are sitting in free download. So you can see down here the shape of that banner block we were playing with. Remember that? And we had them slightly wider and we did strips through. But this one will just make up a little festive basket. So if you... sorry. If you need a little oomph for the Christmas table, if you need something to pop some biscuits or a jar of jam or something in, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. This is there for you to use. And if you take this shape and make it taller, so make the panel much taller, you can fit a wine bottle in. And if you remember too, we talked about making them sort of different depths and everything. If I take, what am I going to say, probably 3/4 off this on each side. You see that now? I've really narrowed it down. This is going to be a better shape to pop a wine bottle in, because what you have to remember is that's only half the width of the base. I'll show you what I mean. Oh, without the iron in the way. So when you actually join them together, you're going to get that width and that width that makes up the base. So you really want to narrow it off, because you don't really want anything bigger than, say, that to sit your wine bottle in or your champagne bottle in. But I just thought I'd mention it because they are just lovely. And it's also something, I don't know, when you've got a spare hour, you can just cut a whole heap out, and then when you've got another spare half hour, you can sit down and sew the bases. And then when you've got another 15 minutes, you can, you know, like you can have them sitting at the sewing machine, and then all of a sudden you're going to have a dozen of these lovely little baskets ready for next year or for an event. When we first did the needleworker soirees, we had, I made a heap of these up, didn't I? And we had, I think they were in Melbourne. We had one on each table for all our scraps. I need to make Jason's workshop. I need to write that on here, because when we have our big shebang at Hillsville Country Club, I'll have to have one made in his fabric, won't I, on each table, or two. Right. And then we talked about a couple of times ago, you've got your Christmas festive stocking as a download as well, so you can make that up for this year, but you've also got the instructions for ruched flowers in that as well. So if you want to have a go at making those, they make lovely brooches. They're lovely to pop on presents, and people can keep them as a keepsake, all of that. Oh, you're all here to listen to me cough and splutter. Merry Christmas, Meredith. Thank you very much. Oh, that was to Fiona. It wasn't even to me. Oh, sorry. Oh, look at you all saying Merry Christmas to each other. Sue, your rose is looking glorious, by the way. Just telling you. It looks amazing. But the garden has taken a big hit. Good morning, Maria. The garden's taken a shocking hit this year with storms and wind. So I don't really want you seeing it until Australia Day either. With a lot of clean up, a lot of watering, a lot of feeding to do. It's really got trashed. The hollyhocks, scandal, except for the big one around the back veranda that has got to 3.2 metres tall. It's down in the garden and it's reached the guttering at the top of the veranda. They've only made it to 1.5, 2 metres this year. That's just not good enough. And now they just want to die off and give me seeds to replant again. It's not good. They need to get to 2.5. I'm not happy. I'll get the place all tizzed up. Okay. Last minute Christmas ideas. Now I know that these usually don't happen, but it's maybe something you can stash in the back of your head to do smugly after Christmas and put away for next year. We all look to patterns to use for Christmas projects, and then we all collect shamelessly way too many cookie cutters. I do. Margaret's worse than me. Cookie cutters that we don't get around to using. So, well, if we do, we only use them once a year. I mean, star shapes, we only use once a year. We don't have the 4th of July, so we don't, in Australia, so we don't. So we've got all these big star cookers. Then we have gingerbread, more stars. We have snowmen. I don't usually do the snowman, but I think he came in a set because Emma started me on that. She said, we're Australian. We don't do snow. And that's just stuck in my head now. But I could do it to send to a relative overseas. Now I've got a Christmas bell. Then I've got the cutest, and I didn't even remember having them. This is the thing, isn't it? The cutest little sets of gingerbread. Are the gingerbread ones? Gingerbread. But I don't know that he's part of... Oh, look! Where did I get these? Oh, maybe in that big cake decorating, like, supermarket department store in the back of Pakenham. Oh, really bad. It's dreadful when we go there. I go in for one thing. So I've got those as well. I know... Oh, then I found this one. Look at a beautiful snowflake. I don't even remember how or why I own this. And then I've also got holly leaves. Now these are for royal icing kind of thing. I'm pretty sure I know what bought those for, but it hasn't happened. I actually think they were bought to do royal icing for the Christmas in July needleworker soiree in the Gambie 2 years ago. I'm going to leave the gingerbread out. I'm not using those for my tree that I want to do, but I've got another idea for them. And I'll leave the stars out. And that snowflake, he's all white. He's lovely. So he would just be super to use as a template for felt and running stitch him onto a little card or something. I need to go through the cupboards. Another thing on the list for January. Okay, so I've got here, excuse me, some gorgeous festive scroll. This is in clearance. This is, what's it called? It's Holiday Vines in cream. That might help you find it a bit quicker. We're selling by half-metre pieces, of course, so you're going to get, if you wanted to do this, you would get 2 out of a piece. So I've cut this down to 10 inches wide, and so I'll have 2 sets of them, and I've also cut on the fold and trimmed off my selvage. So I've got this, basically this lovely big 2 fat-8ths to work with. And I want to just have a lovely big tall topiary tree up here. The girls that are doing my advent will know exactly where this inspiration came from. It was block I, wasn't it? I think so. So I'm just, before you got here, I was just auditioning my cookie cutters. Look at that. I could go a bit smaller. Now, love hearts. You could have circles. I bought out my circle set. I love these, and so much so I thought I might do a little Martha Stewart, and I know where I can source these to actually put on the website, because not just for cutting cookies and cakes and scones, these are fantastic to pull out to get your circle shapes as well. So I could use circles in here instead, diamonds, whatever you find. I think I do have 6-point stars inside in cookie cutters, but I think a 5 for Christmas is probably a better look. And also, everyone doing the advent, don't forget you've got some wacky stars in your advent as well. I hope that's not a spoiler alert too much for everyone that's doing it after Christmas, but I'm sure you expected there to be a star there somewhere. So I'm going to do mine in the same print but in the bright orange, just for something different. I'm going to make a pot out of this beautiful thing I showed you, and there's a lot of Yomu knocking around here at the moment, so I'm going to use my gradient ombre green for my stem. Okay, so I'm going to do this with bias. I'm doing it on the straight. You could actually cut it on the bias as well, and if you did that and you had 2, you could actually twist them to make up your stem. But I'm just going to do mine straight, and with that I have also cut it on the straight, because you don't need to cut it on the bias if you don't want it to curve. You actually want it to be nice and straight. So I'm going to use that. Alright, so I think I'll do my pot first, and I'm using steamer seam for that, just to gauge the size. The The great thing about steamer seam, and we don't often use it, but it's got the 1-inch grid on it. So you can actually cut the shape that you actually want really easily. I think about, well, let's have a look how big our widest star is as a little bit of a gauge. Our widest star is 3.5. So I think my pot could be just a little bit bigger or the same. I wouldn't want it smaller. So we'll go 3.5. No, 4. We'll go 4. No seam allowance because I'm going to raw edge applique it on. So probably about there. Oh, I need to be careful because I don't want to have to get up and go and get more steamer seam when we get to the stars. Let me just cut this. Now, I know, it's just a square. So, square. Now I'm going to taper it. So from this corner down to halfway through here. So 1/2 inch in at the bottom, up to the corner, there like that. Oh, it curved on me. You know why? Do you know why it curved? Because I have stolen, that's a nice curve. I wonder if I can copy it on the other side. I've stolen, you can see I've got a Creative Grids ruler here, and I've nicked it off the shelf this morning at the last minute instead of going in and getting mine. And so therefore my Creative Grid with its non-slip is still slip. I think I've pulled that off, girls. It's a little bit cool. It's a little bit curved. Let's just check. We'll go this way. Check it's the same. I have. Okay, so straight or a little bit curved. You know how we roll here. So now I'll grab my purple, and I probably, can I see the pattern from the back? Oh, just, I want to try and get a center scroll. Popping this on a light box is going to make this a lot easier for you to see the pattern through. Peel off the plain paper at the back, and we'll pop that down there. I think I've pulled it off close enough. Now, a lot of the time when I do this work, and we've been doing it with the Advent, I won't cut down to the final size. We'll just put the whole block over the top and then cut it down, so it's you're actually cutting through the paper and the fabric at the same time. That will very often give you a much neater finish and a more accurate shape, particularly when you're doing sort of small, delicate shapes. But this is a nice big shape with pretty much straight edges. So I have stuck it on in its finished size, and I'm now just cutting or trimming the fabric down to meet the edge of the paper. Then we're going to audition it to see if it's too big, too tall, too fat. So there's my little pot, and he'll sit down there. Now the great thing about this is I'm not following the pattern. It doesn't have to fit in a quilt, so if we trim the size of the background or anything later, that's going to be absolutely fine. 1, 2, 3. I think we're good. So I'm actually going to peel my paper off now and pop it down. And of course the great thing about steamer seam is it stays sticky. So before I actually heat adhere it to the block, I can move them round. I want this in the middle, so I want my pot in the middle. And just for reference for me, I just want to see how far up from the bottom I'm thinking this is looking good. So I've got that sitting at, yeah, I thought so, about 1.5. So that's going to sit there. Okay, super good. And then we'll we'll put these up here. I've just realised I did not bring weft over here to put on the back to stabilise it. We'll worry about that. Oh, it looks like I've got some tearaway. We're all good. It's all right. To put on the back to stabilise it while we blanket stitch it. Okay, stars. Cookie cutters. So we're going to trace around these. I want you to be able to see it, so I'm going to go quite chunky with a Sharpie. I knew Robert would come back. Yeah, but I think it's too... Yeah, I think it's too hard. I think I'm all right with the tearaway here, Rob. I'll be good. And let me just check it is tearaway. Yeah, I'm good. But thank you. Where were you?
Oh, out there. You're about 20 seconds delay anyway. So.
Oh, okay. Rob's been doing a lot of work on our new lavender hedge that we put in this year down the driveway, and our spinner blue gum that we're sort of growing them both for cut flowers and things. There's weeding, feeding, and irrigation and mulch, and just generally checking that they're in good health. And the lavender is, I can't believe what a harvest we're going to have this year. And I've just got in a heap of mauve ribbon ready to make some really good old-fashioned lavender bottles with it. I can't wait. So that's going to be a lovely nostalgic thing to do with Mum on Christmas Day. We're going to pick our first lot and see if we can remember how to do it, since how many umpteen thousand years since we had Lavender Farm at Hillsville. Well, we got married at Lavender Farm, hang on, so that's 33, probably 40 years ago, since I made a lavender bottle, maybe. Don't know if we had, probably Mum was doing them after I left, I'm not sure. Okay, so we'll just peel these off. I just sort of drew them en masse onto one piece of steamer seam. But this whole, what I sort of wanted to just touch on today was, you know, looking for inspiration in what you've got in the house, and always looking to what you've got in the cupboard. Before you go out and buy a template, you really, you know what I'm like, it's always grab the glass from the cupboard, or in this case a set of those circle pastry cutters. But there is so much stuff there, and this is the time of year when you go through, when you've got time, and clean out cupboards and see what you've got, and write up your UFO list or what you want to do in the next 12 months. There we go. I'll stick those on there. So yes, just lots and lots of things that you can use. I've got a couple of lovely old oval platters as well that I could use for easily use for doing oval shapes. And I'm a great supporter of the cookie cutter Christmas decoration movement, which means I love that country look. I do. Where you get your cookie cutters when you finish making your cookies, and you tie them up with ribbon and cinnamon sticks and maybe a bit of holly or something, and pop them on your Christmas tree. Or just hang them on a doorway with some fresh pine needles, fir, whatever, to give that lovely smell. I just love that as well. So you can use them practically for your cookies, and then use them for decorations. So I'll be sharing my Christmas table with the girls on A Quilter's Life that have been starved of anything inspirational culinary for a while, and it's going to be a bit of a giggle, but I'm hoping it works. without buying anything and without unpacking any table decorations. Now that's a big call for me because I have been the receiver of beautiful Christmas objects over the year. Beautiful Therese, no, my lady is out. My Royal Dalton lady is definitely out on the mantelpiece already, but you know, the big Villeroy Bosch cookie jars and things like that. And I love them all, but I think this year they can stay in the cupboard. It's a bit late. Right, so we've got these. Let's have a quick look. Now, would I be right? I didn't actually adhere. Well, maybe I did. The steamer seam onto the pot. So I know I'm doing this all first, but the thing is I can put the bias stem underneath once we've worked out where we want all these to go. Does anyone remember what it is about purple? There's something about the colour purple. It's regal, is that right? I think I was researching that. Hello, Cindy. I was researching that when I was doing my Celtic Christmas medallion many years ago. It's a very regal colour, so I'm not feeling too out of sorts with using it on a Christmas project. The Christmas Celtic medallion is getting a remake this year with Jason fabric. How's that? That all right? I think so. I don't know that all of the bits in between are the same distance apart. No, they're not, but I don't think it matters. I think I'll go with what pleases to the eye. All right, so that's like that. And then we need to make ourselves our stem that goes in between. So we'll scoot across to the bias maker. And a pin. Now, if you don't want to make it into bias, all good and well, you could just do it with raw edge applique if you wanted to. Just stick it down with a long strip of steamer seam or Leesa. A lot of people ask me why we don't sell Leesa online, and indeed, particularly because we've popped it in a lot of the Advent kits this year, but it's not very post-proof compared to steamer seam. It will lift if it gets juggled around a lot and folded and sort of jiggled around in a post bag on its way to you. So that's why. But if you do come and visit us in the new year, we do have it here. I'm not feeling the love here. I need a bit of steam or a bit of water. Move that down. I usually do this on a big ironing board, I will admit. I think we probably want towards the darker end anyway, rather than the light. I'll just measure how much I need. Probably about 12 inches. I'm nearly there. And this is a very wonky piece of bias. This is very embarrassing. I have cut it in halfway the width of the bolt, so I've got another one to use as well. That is shocking. That's because my iron doesn't have steam in it. Oh, how embarrassing. Look at that. That is bad. Let me just try and iron some of this out. Heavens. Okay. A bit better. Does that make you feel better for when you have failures with bias? I have not had one bias failure during the demos on anything recently. That's just one out of the park. Usually when that happens, it means that I have not cut, I've cut over the 5/8 of an inch, and and it's just that little bit too thick to go through. So I'm guessing, in my haste before you got here, that's what happened. Bias making 101. Let's have a look. So because we can lift our steamer seam, I can tuck that really dodgy end underneath there. Good morning, Megan. All right, so now I'm going to lift the side and pop it back down. So I don't actually have to lift my star off. I can leave him there. And then, oh, he's actually stuck to himself. That's not funny. Come off. There we go. And my little one up the top. Now, I obviously don't want it coming above my one at the top, so I'm going to chop him off short so it sits underneath. There we are, okay? And now we can just have a quick look, make sure we're happy. Obviously this bias is not adhered underneath in between the stars, but I do think it's enough to hold it there. If you're a little bit concerned, just pop in a couple of little pins. I don't have my applique ones here, but if you've got your applique ones that are shorter, then use those. All right. Bit of a clean up, and then we'll just iron our stars in place. And we'll iron our pot. Depending on what colour you do your pot, if you do a plain one and you've got some leftover bias here, you could also add it as a trim across the top of your pot if you wanted to. And there we go. Now, to applique these on, blanket stitch for me is the way to go, because we're in a hurry and they are raw edge. And I have, look, I could do it in gold and I can do it in orange, but for fun, because my pot is purple, I'm going to do it with purple on the orange, just to really go all out. As I was saying to Rob, if you've got weft on the back, you're going to be fine. If you want to add your thin pellin on the back now, so you're literally kind of quilting at the same time you're blanket stitching, even better. But what I'm going to do for now, just to quickly show you, we'll just see how it comes up. I'm just cutting up some squares of adhesive tearaway. I will pop that under the word clearance for you if you want to grab some of that as well, just so you know where it is. But this just will cover the back where that star is. I'm going to do the big one. Come down here. So I'm just going to pop that on. And that's just going to be enough to stabilize that star while I'm blanket stitching it. So we'll pop over to the banana, pop this in under here, and also don't go small on your blanket stitch. If you're doing a really lovely contrast of colour, take the opportunity to make it a feature as well. Do you now, Melissa? Purple and orange stitches. I suppose the important thing is, if we all get carried away with this over summer, just when you go to make cookies, you go, where are my cookie cutters? Just remember, they're in the sewing room, okay? Oh, my Miss Benina thinks I've still got my walking foot on from yesterday. Very noisy beep beep. There we go. All right. Let's just see what this looks like. Now remember, when you are going around corners, always turn with a blanket stitch when you're on the outside edge. I'm not sure that you can see that well, but you've got to go on the outside edge, otherwise you'll end up with triangles instead of spokes on your blanket stitch. So we'll just do this one and we'll just see how it looks. No, I was thinking back to all the wonderful things that happened this year, and if we need a little bit of a chat back, and Marg and I had a chat about it the other night, and you know what we missed talking about? Two really important visits, or two important people that visited. One was Michelle Marvick, twice. She came down and ran her workshop with her spiky cushion, and we're making up a heap of kits of that so we can show that to you, and you can buy one to make at home. It's one of the things happening in the next 34 days. And then she came back with the Travel Right tour. Wow, that was the best day ever. And probably for us a benchmark in terms of tours so far. We had beautiful weather. The ladies were all lovely. The garden was looking great. We had a lovely morning tea. It was just a lovely visit. And when things like that happen and it's a culmination of work and stuff, we really enjoyed it. And then go back. Hello, Priscilla Bianchi from Guatemala. I can't believe we forgot to mention Priscilla, which was just so special to have her here. I hadn't seen her for about 15 years, and she came to Chandler's Cottage. We just had a lovely time with her. And when I look at these sort of colours, this is Priscilla. Her most beautiful colourful quilts, just stunning. So we need that whole look back and look forward for next year, and hopefully get Michelle back. Probably won't get Priscilla back, but we'll get Michelle back. We shall see. Because it's not all about Jason. Can't all be about Jason. He's not here till the end of the year. We've got a lot to do before then. Alright, we're nearly there. Right. Let's have a look. There you go. So we've gone right round. I'll just trim off that little thread. So we've got funky purple all the way around, and I can come back and take off that tearaway at the back. You can pad your stars out as well. You could use Wonderfil Stitch Enhancer, which I have maybe put on special just a little bit this morning. You could pop that underneath to make your stars pop out a little bit more. There you go. This is where you come back and go, oh, sequin, 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 sequin. Bejewelor, crystal, 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 crystal. Or you could now come through and add in, let me do it with a Frixion for you. You could come in now and add extra lines through your stars as well if you wanted to, out from the center to give them a little bit more detail and a bit of fun. Suffolk puff in the middle, all those things that we've done all year, and we've played around with embellishments and things, they can all come in now and get used for Christmas together. Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. Good morning, Chris. I love that style fabric too. It's just like I call it, Sylvia, you are forgiven for being late. I love calling it Singapore orange. It's getting into that beautiful, this color. I call this Singapore red. It was that real orange red, and it just goes into those sort of beautiful, bejewelly, Indian Bollywood kind of colors as well. So I really like it in that. Anyway, I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration. I'm going to pop this up here. Oh, maybe not on that side. Can you see that okay up there? You can. Pop that up there. Now, this wasn't on the agenda, but I was just thinking in the back of my head about those gingerbread cookies. And then Megan rocked up, and then Megan and I, well, we talk bunting. Some people talk about their garden. We talk about purses, inset zippers, and bunting a lot. So with all of that in my head, I'm just going to cut down just a little bit this extra piece of bias that I've got. Now the reason I'm cutting it down is I am not going to risk pre-shaping another piece of bias with you live on Facebook this morning. So let me just cut this down so it represents a completed bias, but also raw edge. It's going to curve for me. I was thinking, or if I do that, my Advent girls will go, hey, I know what you're doing. Let's just give me a second. If we could get out from the cupboard a plate, all right, and create a curve. I'm just going to stick some glue on the back of this. Who said please do a kit? Who said please do a kit? Julie? Come on. You can, oh, Jules, really? For the tree? No, you'll be fine. You will. If I do one, you know what? If I did a kit, I'm glad we're having this meeting. If I did a kit, I'd make you pre-shape paper piece those stars. They would not be straight up. They would be paper pieced with diamonds. They would. So you might want to rethink that. I just want to do this. Like this. Purely. Now, again, spoiler alert, Advent calendar girls, you've got the best little top block A going on with a kind of a, I'm not saying any more in case you haven't done it yet. You've got your own little thing going on like this. Stay. Let me hit it with the iron so it stays. Oh, it's wonky. Does it matter? Probably not. So grab a big platter out of the cupboard, a big plate, and use the edge of it to create a curve for your bunting to follow. Like that. And then we are going to make gingerbread bunting on the cuff right now, because this is getting me out of having to change into my work clothes and weed the driveway. Rob's probably listening. That's fine. What do we use? Look, oh no, here he comes. Look out. We're in trouble now. Let's use...
You and Megan talk about garlic.
Is Megan talking about garlic?
So, you and Megan.
Oh yeah, we talk about garlic. We talk about bunting. We talk about purses, and we talk about garlic. I got a big garlic harvest, and I'm really proud of it, and it's all down to the expertise and know-how info sheet from Megan. This is Robert Kaufman Poppy Swirls. Also beautiful, like a pink red. That's also in the clearance. And I've just nicked a bit. So my gingerbread is going to sit there. And I'm going to pop these on. Now these are really little, so I'm not going to be able to use the Sharpie. One. I mean, how ridiculous. I've had these in the cupboard and haven't used them at all for making a cookie. I don't even know what I was doing with them this small. Maybe they were going to form a garland, or they were going to go on top of a gingerbread biscuit. I have no idea. Is that the next one? Yeah. I don't know. But, you know, I am guilty of buying cookie cutters for the shape, for patchwork as well. So, what you doing here, Rob? I'm coming. I'll be there in a minute. Please feel free to start without me.
I was just going to fire up the mower. Okay.
We can go fire up the mower. Oh, you've come to warn us. You're going to make a noise. Rob's about to start up the lawnmower. Now, the reason that you need to know this is it's right behind me, behind the shed. So there may be a slight noise pollution issue. We have to mow this morning because it is being super dry, and it's also going to rain. So, sorry, it is going to be super hot and dry at the end of the week. So we need to mow this morning before the rain hits so that the grass survives. And there's a lot of it. And then I'll be weeding. Look, I'm not going to weed the whole garden. I'm going to weed what the family will see on Christmas Day. So there will be bits that won't be weeded. It'll just be the main view, which includes up the path at the front garden, up the driveway, and possibly the oval bed, which has just copped so much in the way of storms this year. Oh, is it already hit? See, it's already hit Megan's. She's got it in the mallee now, up at Oyen. Fantastic. So I'm guessing that's the front that's coming down to us by about 1 o'clock, Meg. And I'm happy anytime it rains for you up there, as long as you get the rain with the thunder. I love the way I try and cut these out in 1 minute flat, but if I was sitting doing it in my studio, oh, there goes the mower. It would take 3 times as long, and they would be more accurate. But gingerbread are really cute too, because you can just very easily add little eyes and little buttons on their bellies with little beads or French knots. Okay. There you go. Probably not the best fabric to do it in, but I just wanted to show you that besides a tree, you can do a little garland as well, with stars, with hearts, with trees, whatever you would like to do. Oh, Bridget's got rain in Echuca. Excellent. So this kind of concept would be lovely to use down each side of a table runner for Christmas. And the great thing about designing your own is, of course, you can design it to the width and the length that you want. So anything like this would look really cute for that. It'll look really cute on a Santa sack. It'll look great around the top of a stocking, on a little drawstring bag, on your placemats, anything like that you can use it for. So if I go back to my stars, I could also have my stars on here. And I've got a taller gingerbread, so I can make it bigger and chunkier if I wanted to. And if you're like me and you've got all these little holly leaf things going on that you always intended to use, well, you could have little cutouts of these with some little beads or bells as well to create your own garland for your table for Christmas. Anywhere, really. But I just wanted to sort of give you that little idea as well. And I'm going to cut this down just now. And I can pin it up also. So, if you've got any questions, just email me. And I will keep an eye on my emails. My phone will be in my back pocket while I'm out the back. And I will get back to you. And just remember, any orders that you pop in, if you do want them set out straight away, you'll need to pop that in the comments in your order before you go to checkout so that we get it out for you. Susie will be in tomorrow, and which she wasn't planning on, so I'm very grateful she's coming in because I need to go and pick up Ginny and do a couple of bits as I mentioned, but we'll get them out tomorrow for you. Otherwise, if we don't hear from you, we're going to hold them for you and build up a lovely big table like Santa's workshop of orders, and then we will start mailing them out straight after New Year. So we'll hold till then and combine all of your postage for you. So please remember that. And also, if you are planning on picking a pickup, I think Lynn's got one in. Unless you contact us, we'll hold that for you until Australia Day, and I will tell you more about Australia Day and what we've got planned for that day when I see you Boxing Day morning, which is not a week away. It's only Friday, so it's not very long at all. And that is going to be pretty much a straight up, here's what I've now popped on special for you in kits, combos, bag furniture, threads, fabric bundles, and remnants. Boxing Day is remnant day, and I know you love a good remnant, so that's what we'll have then. All right, so everybody, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you for putting up with me coughing and spluttering a bit. What have we got going on here? It's like full weather report. Massive storm in Shepparton. Oh, so if you're like me and you're in Victoria and you want to get out in the garden today, go now. Don't maybe go now and look at the sale later. You need to get out there and get done what you need to get done. Debbie, thank you so much. Listen, thanks for all your lovely messages. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. It's been a huge year for everybody, I know, in our lives, and I hope you've had a good one. And if you didn't, we've got a new one coming around the corner, and it's all going to be fabulous in 2026. So kick back Christmas Day and just enjoy. Do not stress over the roast. Do not stress over anything. Just enjoy it, okay? See you then. Bye.